As many of you probably know by now, the Steam Deck got announced by Valve, a company that's usually more about the digital storefront, but you know, every once in a while they do try to delve into making their own hardware, and the Steam Deck is essentially, as shown right here, a Switch-like portable gaming PC that grants you all of the power of PC in this very small package that aims for 720p, 60 FPS, AAA gaming with some pretty compelling components inside and a pretty interesting design. And a lot of people seem to think this has potential, as when reservations went live, it just completely crashed Steam and, you know, people struggled to secure their reservations. But eventually things settled down and people managed to get their pre-orders or their reservations in, and there's clearly enough demand for Steam Deck given that it actually managed to crash Steam. There's clearly at least a strong initial interest, though whether that carries forth in the coming months and years after the launch of Steam Deck, that remains to be seen. Now, while I was lucky enough to make a reservation for the 512GB NVMe SSD version that is priced at $650, the fact of the matter is that if you try to make a reservation now, you're going to get the device quite a bit later. So for me, the estimate is Q1 of 2022. But for those who are only starting to reserve now, your reservation and your device may not come in until Q2 or Q3 of 2022. And a big question surrounding all of this is, of course, how many of these devices were scalped versus how many of them went to actual customers. Valve did garner confidence by implementing this system where for the first 48 hours, only people who bought something on Steam prior to June of 2021, so before this device was even announced, are able to pre-order or reserve the console, which I think is a pretty smart implementation, as that'll make it a lot more difficult for scalpers to use bots to create a bunch of accounts and then mass purchase them, as these are limited for one per person. And the fact that all of these sales were occurring in the Steam ecosystem and not on all the various retailers who are lacking in security measures, it probably means that scalping was mitigated to a greater degree with this system than it would have been if this would have been sold through retailers like, you know, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, GameStop, you name it. But that certainly hasn't stopped scalping entirely. In a previous video published on July 17th, I gave you a glimpse of what's on eBay, or what was on eBay the day that the pre-orders went up or the reservations went up, and you can see, you know, over twice the price of the MSRP, and some are selling at price points as ridiculous as $5,000. And as frustrating as that might be to see, the good news, aside from the fact that Steam did implement some security measures that mitigated scalping, is that those who are scalping right now and trying to sell these things off on eBay are currently getting screwed over because they violated the eBay presale policy, as detailed here in this Kotaku article that talked initially about all of the scalping that has been going on, and they actually reached out to eBay to comment on, you know, this whole situation and if there's anything that'll be done about this, and Kotaku actually got a response. So scrolling down here, you'll find the relevant excerpt in question. Here's an update from July 17th, 2021. And the paragraph reads as follows. eBay told Kotaku via email that these listings will be removed as they violate the website's presale policy. This policy states that all presale items must ship within 30 days, which is not the case with Valve's Steam Deck. It won't start shipping until December 2021 at the earliest. That is indeed what is stated on the website here. Will begin shipping in December of 2021. But even that really seems uncertain. There's no specific release date, and beyond that, people who got in early are seeing expected order availability of Q1 2022, and who knows when that exactly will be. And there's still some uncertainty as to whether Q1 2022 is part of that first wave of people who kind of really got on top of Steam Deck pre-orders and reservations, and whether this also encompasses December of 2021, which is sort of close to Q1 2022. And so there's just no information, really, no concrete information on exactly when we can expect these to ship. Things are a bit up in the air. All we know is very late 2021 to early 2022 is when the earliest adopters will start getting them. And eBay's presale policy doesn't allow you to sell anything that you cannot ship within 30 days. And obviously the listings on eBay are egregious in that they don't even know when those devices are coming, and all they did was secure a reservation. And what makes the scalpers particularly egregious is that, according to Valve, they can't even necessarily guarantee all of the reservations will be fulfilled within a timely fashion. So in Valve's FAQ actually is, when will I be able to order? And the response reads, we're aiming to start sending order invitations by December of 2021. So if you made that $5 reservation, you essentially reserve to be invited to finally make the final purchase of the model that you went for. We will make every effort to convert all reservations to orders, but we are not able to guarantee availability. So there's just a lot that's nebulous about the current process and who's going to get what. And so for scalpers to go up and start listing these devices as if they're guaranteeing that you'll get this device in a timely fashion is just pretty egregious, and just the very notion and the very action of scalping is incredibly frustrating. But at the present moment, with eBay stepping in and actually enforcing their pre-sale policy, scalpers have faced something of a major blow. And if you go to eBay right now, you can actually see this in action. While these initial listings make it seem as though the Steam Deck scalping scene is running rampant, you scroll down just a little bit and that's where the listings end. We only got a couple of listings, and no doubt these will likely be removed in the not-so-distant future. I definitely saw a lot more listings when I checked eBay when pre-orders or when reservations went up that day. You know, a couple hours later, this whole section was flooded with Steam Deck pre-order listings. But now we're only seeing, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these 6 are going to get probably removed. And, you know, no doubt they'll keep cropping up here and there. But until we get confirmation for when these will start shipping, and unless scalpers can guarantee they can ship within 30 days of putting up the product on the website, this is going to mark a major blow for them. They're going to get their stuff removed if they cannot make that guarantee. Another news outlet who reported on this was .esports, and they noted how on top of those listings being removed for violating the pre-sale policy, that violation could also lead to lowered selling ratings, selling restrictions, and potential account suspensions for the resellers. Though if you're a scalper, it's probably not very difficult to make new accounts, and you know, this is probably not going to affect the scalping scene all that much. But you know, the fact that scalpers are facing some form of consequence, and the fact that eBay is stepping in to do something about the scene is, you know, kind of refreshing to hear about. And the fact that more and more efforts are being put into security measures that can mitigate bots and scalping, that is, you know, refreshing to hear, and hopefully it's something that will be further reinforced in the future. Now, it goes without saying that once we are at a point where scalpers can ship Steam Decks within 30 days of listing them, once we get closer and closer to launch date and Valve confirms specific details on when devices will ship, we are going to see a lot more listings go up, and at that point eBay probably can't do much about that. But the hope is that the scalping scene wasn't able to take too much advantage of the pre-order chaos that tends to happen with high-demand devices like the Steam Deck. Hopefully the system that Valve implemented, where accounts have to have purchased something before June of 2021 for those initial adopters who are there on time to pre-order, hopefully that system works well enough. Hopefully all of that made the scalping situation surrounding Steam Deck much better than it was for obviously consoles like PlayStation and Xbox and Switch, which, you know, are sold on the various retail websites that just don't have anywhere near close to the security measures to combat the scalping bots and the scalpers' various schemes. For now, though, I don't know. This is cause for celebration. The fact that we are seeing barely any Steam Decks up, and the fact that eBay is actively removing those listings, which, you know, makes things less certain for the scalpers themselves who are trying to profit from this and trying to win the money that they spent back. It'll certainly put a wrench on that, even if temporary, even if not necessarily on a permanent basis. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is everything you need to know about the current Steam Deck scalping situation. Let me know in the comments below what you think about eBay enforcing this pre-sale policy, and how well you think Valve did in trying to mitigate the scalpers with this, you know, buy something before June of 2021 on your account system that they added, and, you know, how much of an easy or difficult time you had reserving your device and whether you even managed to reserve one at all and when your expected delivery date or availability date is. Share all of that below, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.